Hey, what's up, and welcome into Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for downloading the podcast and checking this out on YouTube, youtube.com. Look for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment to everything we do on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Today is a great day. You know why? Because it's LA versus Space Day. And so the guys are going to be chopping up about four topics. We'll have four topics. They got 5 minutes to talk about each topic. And it's going to be always fun with these guys because you never know what LA or space is going to say. This is what makes the show go so well. We're presented by Alexander James Whiskey, by the way, the official whiskey of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. I want you to go to the website, by the way, alexanderjameswhiskey.com, because Jesse Stewart, who is the headmaster, the guy for Alexander James Whiskey, is expanded. So you just go to the website. They're the official whiskey of the program. Make sure you check it out because he's expanded. He's going to be in a number of places, by the way, in the month of February for Black History Month. Make sure that you check out the posts on my YouTube channel so you can see where Jesse Stewart's going to be with delicious, fantastic Alexander James Whiskey. It's time for LA versus Space as we bring the guys in. There they are, LA and Space with us here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you guys today? Good to see y'all, man. 2 weeks seems like a long time. Me to, we chop it up a little bit via text, but it's always good to see your faces.
I haven't talked to you guys since the Super Bowl. Since that, who came out? The victor? The Seahawks? Oh, don't forget, my guy came through. I wanted to place a little wager on that, but my guy came through, Kenneth Walker. Shout out to Kenneth Walker for having a dominant performance.
And I almost predicted the score correctly. I had
close.
Seahawks winning 23-13. I didn't think that the Patriots would be able to score two touchdowns. I figured they'd get a touchdown and two field goals, and I was right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
right there.
It's good to see Bad Bunny gain more yardage than the Patriots. It's always good to see that. Just him doing his whole halftime show was amazing.
He actually scored a touchdown before both teams did.
yeah, that's exactly right. Listen, but we talked about it. You know, you took the under as far as the total. You just do want to be defensive slugfest, but you know what? There's beauty in defense too. I know there's a lot of people.
Yes, there is.
Ball and look at the offense, but I enjoyed watching defense. The reason why, because I'm a Bears fan, like you're a Bears fan, and I just want the Bears to see up close and personal what that looks like when you dominate on that side of on that line of scrimmage. It was fantastic.
And let this be a lesson to you young boys and girls out there. I know that you haven't seen this much in your generation, but defense is actually half of professional sports. It really is. Everything isn't a 3-run home run or 10 3-point shots made or 6 touchdown passes. Sometimes the defense actually comes out on top.
and even when they come out on top, it doesn't mean it was a bad game. You know, you have to appreciate a good defense, a good defensive battle. That was a battle of the gladiators right there. You know, it was a game for us. You said it before the game on last week's show, Hoodie. You said it's going to be for the true football fans, not the average fans, but the true fans. And it was a game for us, so I loved it.
Man, they won it the old-fashioned way, defense and running game. Defense and running game. That's how they won the game. That's how the Seahawks became victorious.
Man, what a great Super Bowl. I mean, you know, you got defense and you got the Seahawks winning. I got a chance to see a great halftime show with Kid Rock. So it was just fantastic. It was great to watch.
So you're the one who tuned in. You're the rating that they had.
4 topics on the board.
I saw a clip of that. The dude was lip syncing, and he wasn't lip syncing when he was supposed to be. Yeah, be kidding me. Yeah,
there we go. LA versus Space. We got 4 topics on the board. Let's get 5 minutes on the clock here for these guys. And actually, with this topic, we should go a little bit longer, as long as you guys would like. We had something that was devastating, I think, for this country that happened, and that is the passing of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. And so we should talk about the legacy of Reverend Jackson. LA, let's start with you first. LA, let's talk about a guy, by the way, in Jesse Jackson, who was a quarterback at Illinois and transferred to NC-A&T at HBCU the year after. So a big sports fan, but also his legacy lies in civil rights and the civil rights movement. But let's get your thoughts on the legacy of Reverend Jackson.
You know, I had the opportunity to meet him a few times when I was working for a WVON radio station here in Chicago, and I used to do a little dialogue with his daughter Santita, who hosted a show on that network as well, on that station as well, shall I say? And he was a gentleman who uh, help push forward the plight of the African American and others as well. That's how the Coalition came to be. It wasn't just black people, but primarily black people in this country. He ran for president a couple of times, and he gained a lot of votes. And what most importantly, he started a couple of voter registration drives that increased the number of African Americans that were voting in this country, because people our people had become disenfranchised with the voting system. They just didn't vote. They were apathetic. They just did not go to the polls. Well, Jesse ran in '84, and he got a few million votes. He ran again in 1988, and he actually won like 6 or 7 states in the primaries, even though he did not win the nomination that year. And his delving into that arena helped pave the way for us to see a Barack Obama become elected, the first African American president in 2008. I'm sure he has had his detractors for one reason or another, but at the same time, the man has done a whole lot more good in this world to make this world a better place for you and me and the people that look like us and minorities all over this nation. He is he should be remembered as such a beacon of light and a sense and semblance of hope for anyone who's going through a struggle, up to including the minorities that are being currently hunted down and deported in this nation. And I hate to go political, but you know, it's shameful the way things are happening in this nation now, as far as how people are being deported without due process, being arrested without committing a crime. It's shameful. Shame on our nation. And people like to say, well, this is not who we are. This is exactly who America is. It's just the current guy in the office gave people to be brazen with their hate, with their intolerance of people who do not speak like, and talk like, and it's the same thing, and look like them. And that's what's going on. And I just want to give a big round of applause for the life of one Jesse Jackson, who paved the way for guys like us to even be hosting a podcast like this. There probably would not have been a market like this in the 60s when he was around. A young man who's one of my favorite photographs of him. I don't know whose house they were at, but it's a photograph of Jesse Jackson and Marvin Gaye playing one-on-one hoops. If you Google it, you can see the photograph. It's like, how in the world did these two get together, and why are they playing one-on-one hoops in somebody's backyard? It's pretty cool. But yeah, much respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Absolutely. We begin with that. It is a sad day for our people in general, Black people, with the passing of Reverend Jackson. Never speak ill against the passing. I never go there, and all disrespect to his family, all respect to his family, and all love to his family and everyone else close to him. Jesse Jackson definitely had an impact on Black people. The one key that you said was he brought the voters out. He encouraged people to vote. He went to the churches, my church in particular. You know, he was close with my grandfather at one point, Reverend Clarence L. Hilliard, and he spoke at multiple places, encouraging us to use our voice to vote. It's power in our votes. The one thing I will say about Reverend Jackson is I just wish he became real political. He became real showboaty. You know, it's for me, I want to see you in the trenches. I want to see you where where it matters, not just when the camera's out. You know, and again, I'm not speaking bad on them. Just sometimes it was just a show, in my opinion. I wanted to see you. He was there whenever there was going to be a big event, a big mass gathering. There were going to be a lot of cameras. He was there, but I'm not going to say he didn't fight in the earlier days for civil rights. I'm not going to say he didn't encourage our people. I just, in my humble opinion, I think it just kind of went a little political, you know. So we need a Jesse Jackson right now. We can use a Jesse Jackson right now to get our people going. We can use someone to get us a voice right now. You said you went down the road that you said you didn't want to go down, political. And right now with this country, how they're doing our people of different colors, our Latin folk, our brothers and sisters, it's a bad road we have. You know, it's a long road ahead of us, but it's taking us down an unforgivable path. You know, you got children being taken away from their families. You can use someone to galvanize the people. And we don't have that right now. We don't have someone to stand there and be a voice for everybody. So who's going to be the next Jesse Jackson? Who's going to be able to get people of all color, of all races under one voice?
You and I have this platform along with Hoodie, and we can speak on it, and we can be that voice. Someone's, I forget who said the quote. I think it was Nelson. No, probably wasn't Nelson Mandela. But be the change that you seek. We can speak on it right now, and it can influence someone else to this day, because history will show this president as the single worst president that this country has ever had. History will show that the Department of Justice and the Attorney General, whose name I won't even mention, she will go down probably legally. History will show that the cowards that are in Congress on one side of the aisle that refuse to call these people to the carpet, and they're literally shielding people who have molested children. Yeah. It is something that is unforgivable. It is something that everyone should be united on. I don't care what side of the aisle you fall on. I try not to place myself on one side of the aisle. I try to look at the issues at hand, and I try to vote for the individual or individuals who best suits what I believe to be the greatest good for the greater amount of people. Yeah. And right now, today, there's a party that is in control in this country, and they are just sitting idly by and letting one buffoon of a man make a total mockery out of our Constitution and our system that we like to call a democracy.
Space, last word on this?
Change. Right now, we need change. We need reform. I am a vet. I'm a Navy vet. I fought for this country, and this is not what I fought for. I fought for freedom for everybody, and we're not free. You might think that you're free. You might believe that you're free, but we're not free. You know, it's the powers that be. We need change at the top. Bottom line.
All right.
And
make sure. Hold on. I gotta.
My bad.
We gotta move on, but go ahead.
The quote, it was by Mahatma Gandhi. Be the change that you wish to see in this world, by Gandhi.
All right. Make sure you leave your comments for everyone here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood for LA versus Space as we move on to our next topic. And that is this, coming off of the heels of the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, where the All-Star game took place for the NBA. If you were NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, how would you influence the NBA's best players to participate in All-Star Saturday night? That's talking about the dunk contest, three-point contest, and the skills competition. Space will put 5 minutes on the clock. Go ahead.
I don't think you can influence them. If I was the commissioner, I would think about a whole new system. There's no incentive for these guys. You can't throw an amount of money out there and say, hey, we'll give you this if you compete. You can't throw any type of following. These guys got millions and millions of followers on social media. There's no incentive for them to come and play. All they're thinking about is injuries. They're thinking about all the downsides of coming out there. What you have to do is create an atmosphere that makes them want to play. I would love to see the greats in a 1v1. Come on now. See LeBron actually go against Durant 1v1. I would love to see the chef have to cook up against Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? You have to. I wouldn't say everything needs to change, but you got to find a way to. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't watch this year. I had no interest in watching the games. You know, I used to be excited, you know, to see Michael going against Magic, to see Bird out there. I watched the highlights. I wasn't there able to really see Bird like I wanted to, but to see the greats going again. Oh, you see Allen Iverson throwing a oop to Garnett. I mean, the classics. You couldn't not be there when the All-Star game was coming on. You had to program and make sure you were there to watch. Now it just goes by the wayside. You know, a lot of people said it was entertaining this year, but I had no interest to watch. So you got to find a way to pique that interest. All I'm afraid is I'm gonna watch this and I'm wasting my time. I'm gonna see people go down the court and lob it there. No defense. Where is defense? That's what I want to see. I want to see your real talent up against the best of the best. So I have no idea how to make the Stars compete in today's format. You got to switch it up completely.
For the first time in my life as a sports fan, and this goes back literally 50 plus years, I absolutely did not watch even a single millisecond of All-Star Weekend. None of it.
Great.
I didn't see the dunk contest, the skills competition. I don't even know who was in the three-point contest. I don't know. I know who won. I just found that out today. That Damian Lillard who won the three-point contest.
Dang. Yeah.
He's not even playing. He's not even healthy. I couldn't tell you who was in the dunk contest. I can't tell you who won it. I know that they changed to some gimmicky format in the All-Star game as far as international players versus some American players, and I guess they had multiple teams. Yay, whatever. I don't know how you can incentivize players to play with the exception of placing it in their contract. Your salary this year is $32 million, but if you don't participate in All-Star Weekend, if selected, your contract drops down to $22 million. I don't know what else to do or say. I mean, I know that would never fly because the agents and the players won't go for it because what if I don't make the All-Star game? What if I don't get voted in? What if I don't get selected by it? It just makes no sense that the very best players choose not to participate in All-Star Weekend, especially the dunk contest. And I hate to point out one individual person, but LeBron James, he is one of the most spectacular in-game dunkers that this game has ever seen.
Facts.
He on one All-Star Weekend, I'm gonna unofficially throw my name in the hat for next year's All-Star dunk contest, and we never saw him.
Yeah,
we never saw him, and that's a shame because all of the greats before him, from Kobe to Michael to Dominique Wilkins, Julius Winfield Irving, Dr. J, for you those you keep the score at home. They all participated in the dunk contest. It's what helped make the game what it is today. It's the reason why guys coming off the bench are making 13, 15, $20 million a year. Get out there and do the job. The fans voted you there. They wanted to see you. They want to see you put on a show. We don't want to see guys in the G League in the dunk contest, Mac McClung. Come on,
I'm going to retire.
Ridiculous.
I don't want to be known as a dunker. I want my career to speak for itself.
What career? What career? You don't have one. You shouldn't even be in the dunk contest. If you're not suited up and on an active NBA roster and receiving significant minutes in NBA games, you don't qualify. Kids should not be able to go who's dunking and have to go to a program and look at who this guy. No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do better. And I'm not going to put this on the commissioner. It's on the players. It's up to you. Have some pride about putting on a show for the fans that pay your salary.
See, the problem is, though, if we put it in the salary, let's say you find a way to incorporate that in their contract, they're going to come up with some lame injury excuse, load management type of thing to where they're still not going to compete.
You can't even get them to play in regular season games.
Absolutely. I refuse to support like I used to. You don't know who's going to play by the time you get to the arena. You have no idea. The lineups come out 30 minutes before.
Let me just tell you. Clearly, the competitive edge for any of this is talking about the NFL or the NBA. The competitive edge is just gone because when you're paid millions of dollars when you go to bed at night, you're making money. When you play, when you don't play, you're making money. So that competitive edge is gone, unfortunately. And so, I did not watch, just like you guys, did not watch the All-Star weekend. I was watching a ton of college basketball though, but I was not watching
great college ball
the week.
Great weekend for that.
But here's the thing. So it starts with the stars on Friday, right? It's supposed to be the rookies and the sophomores and the celebrity game. I was told from people that were covering that was empty in Los Angeles.
Wow.
That's not good. Like for your celebrity game, not to have the start. And again, this is where you're in LA. That's where all the stars are, but the stars didn't play. So if your NBA players are not playing and your celebrities are not playing, Adam Silver has a problem. And then on top of that, you talk about All-Star Saturday night. Again, there's some names there from G League or off of benches. It's a thing that you have to stop doing. The slam dunk competition is not a thing. It's just not. Today is about 3-pointers. And so if you want to do a shooting contest so someone can shoot a 4, however far that is from distance, that's fine. But as far as the attraction of the All-Star game, we can talk about the 80s and 90s all we want. Those days aren't coming back, and they'll never come back.
No.
Let me ask you a question, though. Who's in worse shape, the NBA or the NFL, when it comes to the All-Star weekend?
I mean, the NFL is like that. That flag football game is not.
It's dead. It's dead. Yeah. It's dead. It's dead.
But it's funny though. We say this, right? The old hood yellow pad always got information on it. Yes.
Those pages. Hey, Space. Those pages were originally white. That's how long he's had
them. When you're older, things start to turn colors. The NBA All-Star weekend, 8.8 million over the NBC platforms. If you believe in ratings, I don't believe in the ratings. I think those are fake numbers, but still, this is what was reported: 8.8 million over the NBC platform. And so you compare that to the Major League Baseball All-Star game, 7.2 million people watch the All-Star game on Fox. The Pro Bowl, 2 million on ESPN.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't buy that. I can't buy that at all because they actually try in the Major League Baseball All-Star game. They actually try. They're out there trying to win the game.
Hey, LA, you have to. It's baseball. If you can't half-ass baseball.
No, you can't.
You can't do it.
No, you cannot. You cannot. And it started with this current generation of players that is about to be eschewed out of the game. They're nearing the end of their respective careers. And it's bled down into, the younger generation that came after them. They just don't care. They don't, and it's about the fans. That's the thing. It is not about you. It is about the fans. The All-Star game is a popularity contest. These fans vote because they want to see you play against the very best in the league. And for you to go out there and not give an effort, it's shameful. It is shameful. And I know back in the day, in the NFL, there was a bonus check for winning the All-Star game and losing the All-Star game. Same with the Pro Bowl. And that's nothing to these guys anymore. It's just nothing. I don't know if you like this, to me, silly NBA Cup. Instead of putting money in this stupid NBA Cup, put the money into the All-Star game. Incentivize that. Since you want to pay these guys a little extra money for winning a meaningless cup that doesn't mean a damn thing, put it in the All-Star game. Put that bonus money in the All-Star game. Put it back to East and West, and I guarantee you put some real money in it, they go out there and play for it. I guarantee you that.
Best thing about the cup is the uniform sometimes and the court. The courts are. I like the courts. That's the best thing about the court.
I don't give a flying you know what about what uniform you're wearing in if you're out there giving a half-ass effort. I don't care about and these guys. And then they have this point incentivization where you score more points in the cup. And these guys are shooting threes. They're up 30 already. Come on, man. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
The only one worth watching is MLB. Sorry to say, but you tune in to watch Paul schemes against Shohei. You know, you
Yes.
tune in for a matchup like that. You know, you're going to get the best on the best. You don't get that in no other sport.
Yes. Enjoy that All-Star game because it'll be gone next year.
Next year.
With no baseball.
Yeah.
So enjoy it this year.
Oh, my
As we
goodness.
get ready for topic number 3, make sure you leave your comments in for LA versus space. Topic number 3, it is Bears related. Look at that beautiful sky. Look at that right over House Hall. You know what that means? You see those blue and orange skies? You know what that means? Bears are good.
Absolutely.
Look how beautiful that is, LA.
It would be a rain cloud if it was 2024.
Look at that. That is lovely, man.
That is beautiful. Absolutely.
I mean, look. I mean, the Chicago skyline for Jesse Jackson was pretty good, but I mean, right here though, that's beautiful right there. That means things. Hey, you're farting through silk right there, boy. Look at the Chicago Bears. That's outstanding. What major changes? Go ahead.
As one J Hood would say, quality.
Oh, it's restaurant quality. Look at it. I mean, look at it. That's fantastic. What major changes would you make if you were Ryan Poles and the Bears? One of the reasons why we asked this question is because it's February. But the other reason why we asked the question is because you have to take a look at that offensive and defensive side of the football, gentlemen. So if you take a look at that depth chart, what is the things that you want to have changed? Because some of your favorites won't be here next year. LA, we'll start with you.
Number one, you have to find a way to get some pressure on the opposing team's quarterback. You got to find a pass rush. I don't care if you find it via the draft. I don't care if you have to put some a package together to trade for a player. I don't care if you have to trade a popular player on the roster today to obtain a pass rusher, but you have to obtain a pass rusher. And the crazy part about that is the Bears currently, as constructed, they're spending more money on the defensive side of the football than they are on the offensive side of the football. You got money tied into Jalen Johnson. You got money tied into Odingbe. You got money tied into the linebacking core. You got Gravy Jarrett. You have Grady Jarrett. I should do that. Grady Jarrett. You got money tied into him as well. I won't be disrespectful to an old veteran like that. But yeah, you got a lot of money tied into your defensive side of the football, and you're going to have to pay Kevin Byard. You got to make a decision on Brisker. And personally, I probably would let him walk because this guy, he's very effective, and he was the best football player on the field for the Bears in that divisional game against the Rams. But he just doesn't stay healthy. And do you want to invest that much money into your defensive backfield? And you already got Johnson, who's paid. You're probably going to bring Byard back, and do you want to bring Brisker back as well? Probably not. You got to utilize all those draft picks that you amass, even if you have to move up in the draft to get you a stud defensive lineman to help put pressure on that quarterback, and you can draft Brisker's replacement, if not find someone for a little less money in free agency. But in my mind, you have to absolutely address that line of scrimmage on that defensive side of the football. You got to get some pressure on the quarterback. That makes everyone else's job easier. It makes the defensive backs, it gives them that instead of having to cover for 2.5 seconds, they're at the quarterback in 2 seconds. It makes a difference. It makes everyone else's job easier. You plug those gaps, it makes the linebackers fly off the ball. You got to get younger at the linebacker position as well. So in my mind, you got to go defense to defense. And you're going to have to address the left tackle position as well, because Ozzie Trapillo probably will not be ready to go when the season starts. The other kid that you drafted the year before out of the Ivy League, well, Theo is another kid who showed some promise, but who knows what he'll look like through another training camp. But you got to get another body in there just in case Theo is not it, and obviously Braxton Jones. He probably won't be here unless you want to sign up for some debt. But yeah, you can invest that money somewhere else and find another player either in the draft. But yes, if I'm Ryan Poles, I go defense first, defense second, defense always in this offseason. That's what I would defense. You got to be able to stop people, man. You have to.
I'm so happy you didn't say left tackle first. I'm glad you wasn't one of those people that thinks that's the most important thing we need this year. Man, Theo, you're in. Next man up at the left tackle. Caleb has showed that he can read a defense now. He's very good on the scramble. Hey, you got to make it happen. I don't like putting what's it called out there? The guard, Tooney. I do not like
Tooney,
that.
yes, Tooney.
Tooney is too valuable at the guard. We need you next to the center. We need that interior right there protection. So next man up on the left tackle. But I agree with you 1,000% when it comes to pressure. We need pressure. My first move is I'm trying to see what we have to do for Max Crosby. Is it possible for them to let go of Myles Garrett? He just broke the sack record. I don't think we can afford him, but Max Crosby might be slightly more affordable. That's my number one goal this offseason. After that, if Max is just too rich for our blood, you're going through the draft. Hey, you're absolutely correct. There's some studs out there. So you're just looking to build through the draft. I do like the young guy that we had who was injured most of the season. I just blanked on his name at the other defensive end, opposite Sweat. He showed some promise.
Not Deo Odingbo. No, not him.
No, the young, but he showed some promise.
He went out early.
Early in the season, his name either. And we had a lot of promise for him. He's very fast. I think he just needs to gain some weight, get some bulk on him.
Austin Booker.
I like Austin Booker. I think he's going to be great in a rotational position. He doesn't need to be our starting, defensive end. Number one priority is defensive end. After that, I like Brisker. I know he's injury prone. I know he's had a history of concussions. Last year it was relatively healthy. I know Kevin Byard, you have to re-sign. He's just too important in the locker room, but he's also a great leader on the field. So he's the number one re-signing you have to do. But I like Brisker, man. It's hard to. I think he's great opposite Kevin Byard. I think he's that tandem back there. I love that combination we had this year. Too bad we haven't been able to see it in the years past, but this year he was relatively healthy. So, I can go either way with Brisker. Re-sign him or get more talent.
If I may, I'd like to be able to interject just another question regarding the Chicago Bears before we get to number 4 on the Cap and J Hood Morning Show. Weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on ESPN 1000. Also, download the ESPN Chicago app. Please do that. It feeds my family. I'd like for you to address something that we talked about the other day, and that's regarding Tyson Bagent. The topic is that an Arizona beat reporter said that the Arizona Cardinals are looking for a quarterback. Obviously, they're going to part with Kyler Murray. There is no one really in the pipeline, so they're looking at Tyson Bagent. Actually, a number of teams looking at Tyson Bagent. So, LA, you start first. If you are Ryan Poles, and if you want to trade Tyson Bagent, you trade him for what? What would you want on the other end?
A sleeve of Pro V1s and some range time at Jackson Park. Give up anything. Get him out of here.
Well, his voice. What'd you say? Say it again. Your voice too high. What'd you say?
Okay, my bad. I said that I would trade Tyson Bagent for a sleeve of Pro V1 golf balls and a bucket of range balls at Jackson Park driving range. Tyson Bagent, I'm a firm believer that you should have a veteran backup quarterback to a young stud quarterback, not a guy who has less in-game experience than your starting quarterback. A voice of reason, someone to lean on, who's been there, who's done that, who has experience. Tyson Bagent, if someone is willing to give you anything for him, I'll personally drive him to O'Hare Airport. Nothing against Tyson Bagent. He's a great story. I'm sure he's a good kid. Great story and all that stuff. Whatever. If someone is willing to give you anything for him, you didn't utilize a draft pick on him, and you paid him. Why? I don't get it, but hey, maybe he's good. Maybe he's a good kid. He goes to church with George and the guys. I don't know. Whatever. Give me a sleeve of golf balls for Tyson Bagent. Out of here. Sorry.
Space.
Man, my price went up. I know you need them. I know you in desperate need. I'm not LA. You can't give me no damn golf balls and think you get Tyson Bagent. I need a 4 or better. Give me a 4. Give me I'm trying to get a third. I'm trying to push it out. I want a third, but give me a 4th round pick, and you could possibly take them off my hands. But anything, you in desperate need. You need a quarterback. I get that we didn't do much for him. You know, he walked onto the team. I get that.
Yes,
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Hey,
I know. Listen,
I'll take
Listen.
what they give, but I'm not gonna. For me, to me, it's not worth much. But
Somebody's gonna get hurt. Hold on to them. Somebody's gonna get hurt if they
now
talking.
listen. Now listen. I'm just your humble narrator in a Tribe Called Quest shirt, but I'm just telling you that if a team is willing to say, "I'll take your backup,"
yes.
I'm the one in control, right? I'm the one with the power. Yeah. So I'm saying, well, what are you willing to give me? And it can't be like a 5th or 6th round draft pick. What I'm saying is that right now I got stability at the quarterback position. Caleb is the guy going away. And I know we're Chicago and we always love the backup. But in this case, there's no real love for the backup because you have the genuine article, as my mom used to say, the genuine article, and that is Caleb Williams as quarterback. So if someone, and listen, in this league, you know how lazy this league can be. Let's get so-and-so off the couch, Phillip Rivers, and let's get this guy off the couch to play quarterback, right? Someone that's 40, 45. They asked Drew Brees, the team asked Drew Brees, could you come back to quarterback? They're asking Derek Carr to come back in quarterback. So clearly some teams don't know how to develop quarterbacks, so they're willing to take your backup. Okay, fine. So since I'm the one in power, it starts with a 2nd or 3rd round pick. And if you're willing to give me that, all good. But I'm not holding on to Tyson Bagent like he is such a valuable asset. Because I got like Case Keenum. I got someone else could be the backup, and I'm good with it. And on top of that, I want Tyson to start. I hope that he gets a chance to start. It just won't be with the Chicago Bears.
By all means, put him out there. Like we haven't seen the Scott Mitchells of this world before. Like we haven't seen the kid that was in Green Bay that went out to Seattle. And then Russell Wilson took his job before the season even started. I can't think. No, not Geno Smith. This was I can't remember his name. But yeah, we've seen these guys step in a reserve role and shine for a game or two, and then they get this big contract somewhere else. And people are like, what had happened was, why we do that for? And then everybody in the building's fired, including that quarterback. So if they want to give us a 2nd, a 3rd, a 5th round pick for Tyson Bagent, good for Mr. Bagent. Go start in the NFL. God bless you. God bless your life. Get on out of here. But I'll take a sleeve of Pro V1. That's all I need.
Not right now. Not right now. The season ain't even started yet. Somebody gonna get hurt. Hey, I'm holding on to it.
I mean, listen, but again, if someone asks, like, well, here's the thing: Caleb can get hurt and your season's over. Exactly. Like that's the case in 99% of the situations in the National Football League, unless you think Tanner McKee is a good backup for the Eagles. But other than that, man, when your starting quarterback is hurt or injured, that's it.
That's the Bengals.
That's the Bengals. That's the Chiefs.
Yeah. It's over.
Not everybody's going to have a Mac Jones season this year. How he kept the 49ers in it when they lost Brock Purdy for all those games. It just doesn't happen like that.
The quarterback is Matt Flynn. That's who you're looking for.
Matt Flynn. That's his name. He threw a 6 touchdowns against the Lions in Green Bay, and Seattle ran out and signed him. It ran out and signed him, and they were like, "Man, this ain't what we saw on tape." What is this?
The Bears did the same thing to Nick Foles. He had one good game in the Super Bowl. That's our quarterback. We went out and ran outside him, paid him all that money.
And that was against arguably the worst defense to ever make a Super Bowl. That Patriots team, in the opening game against the Chiefs that year, they gave up 42 points and over 500 yards of offense. They made the Super Bowl, and they gave up 42 points and over 500 yards of offense in their closing game. It was a bad defense.
Insane.
And yes, it was.
Fool's gold. That's what a backup quarterback is.
And finally, here on LA versus Space,
Uh-oh.
Brother Clark found himself in the trick bag, as they used to say back in the day, the trick bag. Tony Clark resigned as executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association after an internal investigation discovered that the 53-year-old had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law. What's worse, Space? Sleeping with your wife's sister or your brother's wife? Your wife's sister or your brother's wife? 5 minutes on the clock.
They're both terrible. Let me just say that.
Now, you must choose one, by the way. You can't wiggle out this shit. You have to choose one. Again, we will put it up there again. What's worse, sleeping with your wife's sister or your brother's wife? Tony Clark chose one of those. You have to choose one too.
Listen, in my case, you could put anybody up there, but my brother's wife is not going to be the choice. I don't care if you pick the little crackhead on the street. I'm going the other way no matter what's going on. But my brother's wife, you hear me? She will not be on there. This is by far. See, that's what I'm saying. It's an unfair question for me. This is an unfair. She is by far the craziest person I've ever met in my life. And I mean this literally. So for me, it's
and you're saying this publicly. You are aware that she can see this show, right?
Do you hear me? I don't give a damn. This for me. It's so simple. I don't care who you put on that other side. But in my case, I am not sleeping with her under no circumstance.
Wow. He doesn't mean it. He really doesn't mean that. You're a wonderful human being, and he appreciates the love you have for his brother. Just don't bring any of that love to him. That's all I got on that one.
What do you say? I don't need the heat. I don't need the heat over here. Leave the heat over there. None of it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but so you're gonna sleep with you sleep with your wife's sister.
I don't care if it was the great grandma. You hear me? I don't care who it was on that other side. Just not her. You not hearing me. What do you say? You only saying that because you don't know Baby D. You know, you looking at me like that because you don't know her. I won't say her name, but Jesus. You don't know her. There is no way I'm going there.
So you went the literal aspect of it with visualizing the actual brother's wife. I was just gonna go on the hypothetical realm. I wasn't thinking about my brother's wife. But just look at it this way: you sleep with your sister's, your wife's sister. You're gonna be out of that side of the family. You're dead to them, and you're gonna be out of your worldly possessions when you go before that divorce court judge. So this is a lose proposition, and there's no right answer.
So you choose your brother's wife?
Can I phone a friend?
Don't call me.
No. That's why it's LA versus Space. No. Yeah, how about this? Man. How about Lawrence Atkins is speechless? You don't usually get that on the show.
Man, these are bad choices. These are all bad choices. Because if you sleep with your brother's wife, you're dead to your brother. He's not going to forgive you ever in life again. Matter of fact, and then you got to deal with the rest of your family. How did you do that? You're going to be judged for the rest of your life. But if you sleep with your wife's sister, hey man, your family they might talk a little smack to you and never let you forget it when you come around for holidays. But you got out of the family. You got out of the family. Get out of the family. Don't do nothing in your own flesh and blood family, man. You cannot do that. No. So if I had to choose a bullet to be shot with,
you got to.
it would have to be the wife's sister. This is horrible.
It's bad either way. No matter how you look at it, it's bad. But for me, it was simple.
Tony Clark was a switch hitting first baseman for the Tigers and the Cubs and a few other teams. And see, that was his first clue. We knew he liked to play both sides of the plate. we should have known somewhat right about him back then. Oh boy, I tell you.
I'm praying for you, Tony Clark.
All the women in the world, how do you go there? Come on, man. If you're gonna do some dirt, do your dirt somewhere else. In the family? Bruh. Bruh.
All that money you got. All that money.
How many flights? She ain't busy. I'm sure she can system work your way. Come on, man. In the family, man. Tony.
Hey.
You know you done fucked up, though. You know you fucked up, don't you? Oh my God. Come on, Tony.
Hey, we praying for you, Tony.
Tony the Tiger. That's not great, Tony the Tiger. My God. That's awful. That's just awful. Hey, Hood. Hey, the Hood, the hell with you with this question, too, man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. There's a flag on the plate. What's your answer, Mr. Hood?
I was waiting for it.
What's your answer?
You guys got 4 seconds left. There it is.
Fade to black.
Okay. Well, first of all, we have to talk about the sports aspect of this for this question, because what's worse, sleeping with your wife's sister or your brother's wife? So you're right here on the dawn of trying to negotiate a new contract for the Major League Baseball players. Now the representative is not there anymore because he had his Tony the Tiger in the wrong spot. So now he has to leave. So if I'm a player and I got to think about, well, what I'm gonna do after this season, my representative's not there. They'll find someone else. But the point is, Tony's been in the trenches, working behind the scenes for all this, trying to get players, well, I don't know if it was in the front or the back, but the thing is though, when it comes to negotiations, he was right there to try to help the players get around, try to get this, this labor stoppage, make sure that doesn't happen. So he found something else to do. Now, when it comes to this question, since you asked me, and I'm just your humble narrator, that's all I am. I'm just the producer of this show. I don't have an opinion. No, but what's worse, sleeping with your wife's sister or your brother's wife? Definitely it's the wife's. It is sleeping with your brother's wife. Yeah, that's the worst, because now you could be disowned by your own family, right? Yeah. Now you're breaking up your own family. Now you're Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Rodgers, where they don't speak, right? One's a quarterback, one's an analyst on ESPN, and they have a family issue. And that happens, by the way. But when you do what Tony did, that breaks up your family. If it's your wife's, if it's the wife's sister, hey, man, you know what? You cut ties. That's it. Hopefully there isn't kids involved. But if it's just one-on-one, you don't have to worry about her anymore. You're all going to get divorced anyway. And so if you're a scumbag from their standpoint, all good. Yeah. But when it's in the family, that's a tough one. That's tough.
Well, my final answer is the choice I make is the sister-in-law. That's my final answer. The sister-in-law.
For either side. It's either side, yes.
The sister-in-law.
Trying to do a Negro mind trick on me, and it didn't work. So, thank you very much for that. Did not work, LA.
I gave it a shot.
It's clearly that it's hard to cut ties with your family.
Yeah.
Versus your wife's family.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So we agree. We agree on that one. You can't get cut off by your own family. You ruined it. Don't let you have nieces and nephews. Why doesn't Uncle Jonathan come around anymore? You're not welcome. You can't do that.
And also family reunions, I'll tell you that.
And also, Space, let me just tell you something.
That's a solo family reunion.
Can I just tell you, gentlemen, that's lazy on the part of Tony Clark.
Big time.
Lazy. You lazy, man. He is already in the Kendall Gill like gray club, like LA is, like the sharp, he's already in the Gray Fox club. So why is it that's what you look over is like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. You can get any woman that you want. You're Tony Clark. So it's lazy. I don't like guys that are lazy with it. If you feel like you need to cross over and you want to break up your marriage, all good. But within the family, within this in the circle, I find that to be lazy. It's wrong, but also lazy.
He's got to wear that for the rest of his life, man. He got to wear that the rest of his life too. You'll never live that down, ever.
Yeah,
ever.
How's she look? She look good? Do you have a picture?
Well, you know what? There will be a photograph circulating as soon as this podcast ends. I'm sure I will make sure that you guys have a photograph of this young lass.
I mean, it had to be worth it. It had to be stunning to in-house.
It better be. It better be.
Oh. She better not be looking like LaWanda Page. Is that what you're saying? She better not be looking like.
You better watch it, sucker.
Is that what you're saying? It must be cold up in those legs, or them hills. I beg your pardon. It must be. It must be gold there. Tony Clark is breaking up his own marriage, but then doing that within the family is just tacky. It's terrible. And then what about these millionaires in Major League Baseball that want to get paid? You turn your back on them too. If I'm the players, I get a bat. There's a fight the back rack just to knock out Tony Clark. That's terrible. But I'm just your humble narrator. I don't know much. I'm just here to introduce the topics.
I can't wrap my head around this, man. I just can't. You're a multimillionaire, former professional athlete who's still recognized pretty much wherever you go. You have a esteemed position still in Major League Baseball, and that's what you do. That's what you do.
They get money, don't know how to act. You know, don't know how to act at all. You know.
All right, so you know what time it is, guys. It is jump ball time. So I'm looking at the list of topics here. With this the college NIL, transfer portal, NCAA hoops. I see Final Four outlook. What the hell you doing, LA? Final Four outlook. Can we get to March? Give us
already
now. Wait a minute. Just hang on. Can we do this in a couple weeks? Please?
Yeah. I guess. I guess you twist my arm. You twist my arm. You twist my arm.
So okay. I also see Bryce James and NIL. So what do you guys want to talk about for the last topic? Jump ball.
Well, I'll touch off on this.
Or Mick Cronin going off yesterday at the UCLA Michigan State game. Whatever you want to talk about. You got 5 minutes.
You know what? Let's address that. Cronin, a lot of people had an issue, said that he was showing his player up in a situation like that. You're getting blown out on the road, and you potentially could have incited a fight in a game that you're getting your ass handed to you. You hard foul a guy unnecessary. If you want to stop a guy from scoring the right way, defensively. Stop them from scoring. You don't try to hurt him. And he could have yanked him out of the game and just benched him. I have mixed feelings about it because a lot of people say, well, he embarrassed that player. But that coach is responsible for that player and that team. And if that player caused his team to get into a fight and get other players suspended, and it could potentially cost him his job. So again, I have mixed feelings about it. You just don't do something like that. You just don't. You beat him on the floor. You don't beat him up physically.
It didn't cost a fight. We can what if, and it could have, but it didn't cost a fight. There's no, if that was my kid and you went and not set him at the end of the bench, but you put all up and you sent them on national TV to the locker room, that's your ass later. I got to see you now, coach. Now we got a problem because you don't do that. This is I've never seen a coach eject a player. I get it. Honestly, I thought it was effort. The coach must have been drinking Alexander James whiskey. He was on the court. I thought it was effort. I thought it was a hard foul. You shouldn't be fouling like that. But to have that type of effort in a blowout game, I like the effort to an extent. But I do think it was just a little rough. But you don't eject. You personally eject the player. You don't do that, coach. And then the coach, you kept you went afterwards in the locker room and doing your post-game interview, and you telling man you yelling at me. I mean, the coach was on one. He went at it with the reporter. He was on one. His ass needs to be gone. You do not.
Well, he probably will be gone because they got blown out the game before against Michigan as well. That's just they don't need to go back. UCLA doesn't need to travel to the state of Michigan anymore. I mean, the University of Oakland's waiting on them next. We got next, but yeah, my whole thing is, yeah, that didn't start a potential start a fight, but it could have on the next play down on the other end of the court. And on top of that, this guy, he was in the game when you're getting blown out. So how much playing time was he really getting in the first place?
I hear that.
You in the game getting blown out. You probably was not a significant contributor on the team anyhow. But I don't follow UCLA basketball like that, so I don't know.
Well, then you go back to the bench. Back, put your warm-up back on. Ice your knees if you want to. and call it a day. But you do not send him in front of everybody like that. You do not do that. I don't care who you are. I don't care who the player is.
So now we're talking about saving face. It's saving face of a guy because he's embarrassed. You should be embarrassed that you're getting blown out by 30 points. That's where your embarrassment should come from. Play better.
I get it.
And coach better. It's a black eye for everybody. It's a black eye for everybody.
That's my point. Then be mad at the whole team. Start throwing all their asses out. Get them off the bench. And go to the locker room. You can't forfeit.
You can't forfeit games.
Yeah, you gotta be a leader of men. You know what I'm saying? Right there, you let your emotions get the best of you. You gotta handle it better in that situation. And I don't like how he handled it. Not one bit.
Okay.
Not to say that a contract can't be broken, because we've seen contracts broken, but Mick Cronin signed a contract extension through 2030 with UCLA. Now listen, you could do a Jerome Tang and fire him for cause, like at K-State, as we just saw. That brother got fired because he told the truth, took the names off the back, said that there's going to be a 6 a.m. practice after getting throttled because they're not good this year, and he got fired for cause. So if UCLA wants to pull that out, they can always use that cause thing, because Mick Cronin is an asshole. I think that's very clear. Mick Cronin might be a decent coach, not great, but a decent coach. But to be able to take a young man who, again, it was a hard foul, and you could understand, all three of us are old school. You're getting beat down by 25. That young man said no layups, nope, and a hard foul. Was it egregious? Was it in today's basketball? It is flagrant 1, not flagrant 2. Yeah. But Mick Cronin wanted to be the coach. He wanted to be the commentator and the referee on the sideline and say, nope, I'm ejecting my own player, and got him out of there. Why?
Man, that guy, he's underpaid. He's underpaid, man.
He's doing all these damn things. So he's an asshole. And this is not the last time. I mean, he always complains about having to travel from LA and then from LA to play St. John's, to LA to play Rutgers, to LA. Hey man, this is the Big Ten. You got to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast. He's always bitching about that too. So I'm not a fan of Mick Cronin. And then, as Space talked about, going after a reporter, and gaslighting a reporter, something I've never seen before. A guy was like, hey, what'd you think of the zone, the fan zone for the Michigan State Spartans? He goes, I couldn't give a rat's ass about it. Fine. Think it's a bad question? All good. And then the guy's like, okay. And he said, it's the worst question I've ever been asked. That's what Mick Cronin said.
That's a lie.
And fine, if that's how you feel in the moment, you got your ass whooped. I understand that you're pissed off, all good. But then you're gaslighting the reporter and say, hey, are you raising your voice at me? I think you're raising your voice at me. You know what? That reporter is a good one, because if that's me, if a young J Hood is there and he said, I'm raising your voice.
You and I both have been in the press gaggles, and that wouldn't have flew with either one of us. It wouldn't have flew with either one of us. Well, yeah, I am. Well, yeah, why, yes, I am.
I am raising my voice at you. Are you raising your voice at me? He think he can get away with that shit because these little young bloggers, young reporters, they just got to try to keep the gig. Not me. No, sir. Not me.
Yeah. He knew he did it to the right one. That's exactly what happened. He knew his audience, and he pulled the right one. But definitely not up in here. I can tell you that. He needs to go. That's just the problem. Whenever you can lose control like that, whenever you can, it went past the locker. You have this type of talk with your team in the locker room. You go, you shake your hand, and all right, everybody else in here, and you do that in the locker room in front of everybody, and then you let your emotions spill over. You need to go now.
But as far as we know, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, he could have went in that locker room and said, "It's a good thing you knocked that boy on his ass." I doubt it, but playing devil's advocate, he probably could have praised the kid. And I'm gonna get you out of here just in case some stuff jump off, so you don't become the villain on the bench. And then he went in the locker room and said, "Hey man, if it happens again, knock him on his ass again." I doubt that he said that, but that's a possibility.
I have no problem with that foul. No problem with it. You getting beat down. You get no layups, man. You already been beat by. I mean, if they're knocking down threes on you and you're just late defensively, that's on you. But to give up layups, no, you can't do that. Can't do it.
No,
somebody's got to pay for that.
Exactly.
So that's how that works for me.
That is how we grew up playing. I cannot lie. That's how we grew up playing. No layup rules. No layup rules. You're not gonna showboat on us. You're already beating us. You're not gonna stun on us as well. Not up in here. Not up in here.
Yeah, the roughest games of 32 and 21 you can ever imagine.
Yes.
Well, yeah, man.
Every basket.
You weren't getting that last basket.
What?
You wasn't getting that last basket. Just wasn't gonna happen.
Man.
Gentlemen, another fine episode of LA versus Space. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having us, man. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Share with people you don't even like. Share with your enemies. Share with your family. Like, subscribe, and share. Please and thank you. Any comments? You want them to leave comments too, or? Oh yeah, leave some comments. Give us some feedback. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you'd like for us to talk about or discuss. Maybe you have some topics out there that we haven't reached yet, and you want to hear about it, and you want to hear our opinions on it. We'll be more than happy to give them to you.
Yes, maybe we'll have you are a gambling aficionado. You know, we're looking for one of those also. A gambling expert. Maybe you
I got one. I got one of them. Good old K-Town Mo, my buddy Maurice Sanders, who's he's probably ensconced in some wager right now, yelling at some guy to get his 5th rebound in the second half. Right this second. Is K-Town Mo, is he out yet? I'm gonna let him address you. I'm gonna let him address that. I don't want any smoke from K-Town Mo, please. I've heard his name for 20 years. Never been incarcerated. Okay. Never. I'm just glad that he's available and out and is out there where he can smell it. So he can smell the roses and he can touch some grass. He touched some grass. It is LA versus Space. It is brought to you by the official whiskey of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood, Alexander James Whiskey. Go to the website. It is the link is in the bio, alexanderjameswhiskey.com for more information on Alexander James Whiskey. In the post, by the way, on YouTube, you can see where James Stewart is going to be with Alexander James Whiskey. Go by and see him and tell him Under the Hood sent you. He'll be glad to see you. He'll be there for hours at a number of Benny's locations in the Chicagoland area. So make sure that you support Jesse because he supports us at Alexander James Whiskey. So another edition of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for joining us for LA versus Space. Make sure that you're with us. And as LA mentioned, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment. It's everything we do. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Even if you didn't, it's still LA versus Space. And it's still a lot of fun right here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. So long, everybody, from Chicago.